line. Check the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3.
It's a beautiful day here at Watkins Glen, New York, and race fans here tonight. It's the Green Mountain Girls Fast and Fun Truck Series live here on PTM Racing TV as they're about to bear witness and fight it out for the last time on this old surface, this old rundown Watkins Glen International before the new update coming from iRacing itself here on PTM Racing TV. Hi again, everyone. I am the Crusader Christian Shriver. Welcome back to the show as always. We're getting ready for a race here tonight, but right now we are currently under a qualifying session here as drivers look to try and outdo and outpace themselves on this very tough and elusive, very tough train track. As you see some of our drivers kind of pulling off on the round and trying to pulling off out on the field here. We'll see who can outwit and outsmart the other, but right now it's time to take it down here and talk with some of our drivers here. The first one being of Triple Trey, came to play Whitehead. Trey, great to have you on board here tonight, sir. As we get ready for tonight's action, man, currently I know you're getting wrapped up and settled into that truck. How's it feel here?
Yeah, it's like you know, if you guys are watching the Buffalo and New England game, it's kind of like that, except it's not really cold, but you feel like you're on ice. There's not really a lot of grip around this place. It's gonna be an all-out brawl, seeing who can last. Because I mean, through the few laps I was able to run, I was able to get one decent lap out of all of them, and it's just you're fighting the truck the whole time around the track. So it's going to be interesting to see who can save their tires and whose race strategy is going to prevail.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, Trey, it certainly will be a long, hard race out here for you and your crew. Our best wishes of luck to your team as we get ready for tonight's action.
Yep, appreciate it. Hope it's a good one to watch, y'all.
I appreciate your time here, Trey. Ladies and gentlemen, Shake and Bake Racing League, that is Triple Trey, came to play Whitehead. Let's take it down now and talk with the number 3 driver. We haven't heard from him in a while here, but ladies and gentlemen, this is Matthew Moniak now on the call here. And Matthew, we just talked with teammate Triple Trey a minute ago. You also had to make quite a bit of a trip down here from Illinois over to the side of New York. What's it like here, just kind of being on this old worn-down service one last time before we head down into the new iRacing update when it comes here in just this next week?
Oh, with the setup we're running in these trucks today, it's real slick. You got to be real easy off the turns.
For sure there, and obviously we've seen kind of a lot of hot, tight corners and hard runs here. Do you think these drivers can really kind of make some good passes and good corners here, or do you think it's going to really just kind of boil down to who can make the mistake first and capitalize on it?
I think at the beginning of the race is going to be more about just keeping your truck clean, just trying to survive. But when we get towards, the back half of the race, when people start to settle down, then I think it's really going to have to be your skill level that really prevails.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Matthew, we do appreciate coming on board here tonight. A big good luck from us here, and best wishes and luck as we get ready for tonight's action here on PTM Racing TV.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for broadcasting.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, and the number 3 tonight, Matthew Moniak, here representing for Shake and Bake Racing League, or Mid-Pack Racing, wherever he's deciding to opt into here. I don't even know anymore. Take a listen in here real quick with the Marauder, James Harris, as now he joins us in. Marauder, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. Now, I know you, well, hold on, we'll let you finish this lap here.
It's a crap lap.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, is this a good lap, or is this a bad lap?
No, my first one was better.
First one was better. All right. Also, I'm just going to ask, what the heck is going on with your thing you got on your screen?
You talking about the Craig Sucks?
whatever, whatever that's going on there. I only see the Marauder thing, and I see a big stamp there that says "No bueno." It's like a picture of
This is
a
having-
face. It's like a picture of a face, and then a big like, just no, stay away from
that's
him.
Craig. That's a picture of Craig.
I can only imagine what Craig's got going on with him right now, knowing that
He's got the same. He's got the same thing, but with my picture on it. It was his idea after our rivalry from Michigan. So all in good humor.
good humor, but I still think there's a receipt coming for him eventually, isn't there?
Who knows? I'm kind of over it at this point, but it's still in the memory bank. So when I have the opportunity to give a little payback, who knows? It's probably gonna happen.
I'd be Kevin Hart.
He-
I'd be Kevin Harvick could say he had a little memory bank in there. Well, then as soon as it came at the Roval, it's like, oh well, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, you gotta wait till the right moment. When it's when they say revenge is a dish best served cold, so you gotta kind of wait till they're not expecting it.
The last thing
So,
I know you do is serve anything cold, considering you live down in Texas.
Darn right, it's hot as heck down here. But yeah. Yeah, that was an unfortunate event. But yeah, we're having fun with the old rivalry. But we do have Bristol coming up in a few weeks, so who knows? We'll maybe get the chance to put the bumper to old Craig that time.
We'll see what happens, but tonight, Yuri still got to fight it out here at Watkins Glen. So our best wishes of luck for you and your crew.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one.
Absolutely. Thank you, James.
All right.
The Marauder, James Harris, ladies and gentlemen, having a little listen in. Well, I guess we've already seen Harris's, so let's just bring in our number one qualifier now in Craig Zanifian Janzik. And yep, that is certainly Harris's face on that picture. So I really don't know on earth why you two have this argument and this rivalry going as much as you do, but I guess we'll keep it going the way it is.
Well, if there's one thing that the two of us like more than hard, close quarters, sometimes with contact racing online, the other thing is a little bit of a good laugh here and there. So James and I had this amazing idea, and you're seeing it now, and yeah, I love it. I'm all for it. I think it's amazing, and it also shows that while we are fierce competitors on the track, we share great laughs off the track, and we help each other grow, as racers, and that's that's what this is all about.
It certainly is indeed. Now, I know obviously here tonight you're on your home track, and I know this one definitely will mean a lot to you to kind of bring back some little revenge, if you will, for what happened down in the next gens. How hard, though, you think it's going to be to get this old truck to kind of work around this very slick surface before the update comes around?
This is going to be as hard or harder than the next gen car, in my opinion. The truck feels amazing. James came up with an amazing setup for this race. It's a little unpredictable sometimes, which I like in a car. I like in any car, at any track, oval, road, etc. But I enjoy that. I think you can drive the rear tires a little bit more with that kind of setup, so I thrive in that situation. But that also, of course, means that one of those step outs that you can't catch is probably going to be fatal, and I think that's what happened in the next gen car with me. So we're really hoping to try not to make history repeat itself tonight, but we put down a killer lap here in quali, and I hope that for the rest of the race after that, we should be able to keep everyone in the mirror.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Janzik, appreciate your time here tonight. Number one qualifier here tonight. Best of luck down there.
Thanks, and huge shout out to Green Mountain Girls on my truck here. You'll see my lovely truck here in a few seconds. But yeah, super happy to represent them here at my home track.
All right. Thank you for your time there, Janzik.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you was watching the broadcast, though, we already kind of had that pulled up here tonight. So I guess maybe that's just that's our end of the bargain. But oh well. All right, race fans, let's talk one more driver here tonight. Let's talk down to Freedom Mullet Racing real quick here and bring in the number 34 driver of Sean Boundy. Boundy, last guy really we might have time to talk with here, but we brought you in for this reason because last time we were here, you knocked out and took down all the veterans and actually were the number one driver. We just heard from Janzik that truck, that next gen Cup car was about as tough as it is with this Truck Series truck. How do you feel going in with that kind of mindset?
I spent most of my time just practicing on getting a smooth run in. That last race was really just about being smooth, being consistent, and we may have had the second or third best car out there last time, and it just kind of fell into our lap. And I just kind of feel like that's about how our race is going to go. It's like if you look at the times those top two guys put on, you're really just going to have to wait for them to make a mistake. So yeah, that's my plan. Just stay smooth, stay consistent, don't make any mistakes. Hope I don't get wrecked. And if somebody else has problems, just kind of fall into a spot if we can.
For sure there. Now, I know obviously there's going to be a lot of hard racing and hard addictive battles here on this very tough terrain track surface here. Do you think any point that one of these drivers might be trying to build a little side-by-side maneuvering, or do you think it's going to be just kind of wait for someone to make a mistake and open the door on you?
It really depends on the dynamic of this track, especially these opening laps. You never know. Like some days the field is like we're all going to be patient going into one, and other days everybody thinks it's the opportunity to take what they can get. And if there's a mess, then it could get real thinned out, and you might be just worried about when you're going to make your pit stop and what lap traffic you're going to have to go through during that mid-race cycle.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, the time has come and the time and place is here. So it's time for you to let you get back down to that truck and get strapped in for the hard racing ahead. Bounty, best of luck to you and your crews with Freedom Mullet Racing.
Yep, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, your number 34 driver, Sean Bounty, on the call here. And now, race fans, the time has come. It is the place to be. It is time to see the Green Mountain Grill Fast and Fun Truck Series on the showcase. We've talked with the drivers. Now it's time to let them loose here at Watkins Glen one more time before the big update comes with a new look and a new feel. Well, here's how we do it, though. On the pole, the Zandy fan Craig Janzik will be in the number 40. It is outside. Randall Falks in the number 24. Row number 2, it's going to be Tyler Meeks. The 35 is outside. Christian Wilcox in the 4. The 35. Row number 3 is going to be Tyler Meeks 35, and then 53 Christian Wilcox, Row 3 is going to be Sean Bounty at 34. Is outside the Marauder James Harris in the 4. Row number 4 then is Richard Fornshell in the 90. It is outside the 69 Steven Tyler Fless. Row 5, it's Sheldon Pearson. The 8 is outside the number 5 Robert Lawrence. Row number 6, 82 Brock Whitehead will pilot. On the outside of him will be the 29 of the Man Beast, William Mann Jr. Row 7, Jonathan Diamondback Diamond in the 39 is outside. That'll be Garth Snyder in the 88. Nathan Meyer in the number 1. Then Garth Snyder will be in row 8 with the 88. Then it is outside. That'll be Charles Whitehead, the 51. Row 9, it'll be Triple Trey came to play Whitehead in the 33, and is outside Robert Wynn in the 16. Row 10, John, the attacker of Colin Linesmeyer Thacker in the 56, is outside Robert Jolar, the 54. Row 11, Robert Wynn Jr. in the 89 is outside Steve Clegg, the 22. Then we'll pilot Joshua Goddill in the 23. In row 12 is outside the number 3, Matthew Moniak, final starter. It will be Rustaful Kilgore in the number 2. The time has come and the time is here, race fans. It's time to get down to hard racing, clear-cut action, and packed here tonight. With some major hitters in here, the hometown boy, Greg Janzik, you just saw a minute ago. There's Sean Bounty in his Toyota. And then the other big name to keep an eye out for, of course, the Mullet Man, Robert Lawrence. He's been out of this road for a long time, but he's had some bad luck as of late here on PTM Racing TV. Can he finally exercise those demons here tonight? We're about to find out, and then some here as the drivers lean them off to the corners. This is the bus stop area you see here now. This will be where everyone really gets a little tip-top and out of shape as they lead into this big turn, sweeping turn coming up known as the carousel. They will bring every driver into a hard run, and then out from turn number 9. You then have turn 10 coming up through the ranks, and then turn 11 and 12 to finish this race out. 12 will be the final turn that really sets everyone astride and everyone in position. Put up the map counter, folks. Let's get this race underway. We'll lead them off down that long straightaway, then into turn 11, and then finally 12, and then let the Green Mountain Grills trucks to life here for 35 straight laps. No caution flags will be engaged, no breaks in between. You either win it or you lose it. You're either in or you're out. There's no other ways around. It's time to lay it loose and lay them thin. Great crowd on hand here tonight. Danny Graham from Australia, mates. GJ, my friend. Brad Thacker, Eli Childs, Robbie Lawrence, and then William and Papa Beast coming on board. William, man. Let's head down to the track here. Starting him up onto the green flag restart. And the number 40, Craig Janzik, gets a great jump out of the gate, putting it right up ahead. But Randall Fox not going to let him by that easily. The number 24 driver trying to make him stay in touch, trying to keep him honest here. And we were just talking about that a minute ago. You know, will they go side by side on these starts here? Will they battle it out as hard comparatively to what you see normally? We're getting just a good taste of that right now. Everybody else, you know, honestly, they're staying back in the field. They're not wanting to do nothing about this. Janzik and Folks, that's the opposite of them. They're like, no, we don't want to do this whole single file draft line. We're going to go for it big. We're going to go for it all now. Now, speaking of going for it all now, Robert Gillard going for quite a bit more than I think he wanted to there in the bus stop. Ends up into the grassy plains, almost into the sandbox. Gets out of it, though, and brings it back to life. But that's going to be a tough break for him to work off of. The 54 going to be way behind pace. Tyler Meeks at 35, number Camping World Chevrolet. His Silverado machine trying to fight him off here, trying to build up momentum and ground here on the track here as we now look at the driver that can only go back to back here tonight. Two different series, but they haven't been here in a while. That of course being Sean Boundy and that number 34. Piloting up some serious momentum and serious runoff here into the corners. In some good spots and some good marks so far right now. On board here with Greg Zanifi and Janzik as he pushes and pulls. It's number 40 right up with the Green Mountain Grills machine up to, I believe that is the Gale Force, number 24. Yep, the Gale Force there. A little honor to his friend Cale Gale there. Nice looking ride to say the least. To me, it kind of has like that almost death metal style Reaper vibe to it, the way it looks. I like it. Speaking of a little vibes here too, Champion Power Corp's number 4, James the Marauder Harris, also putting it on with the Blackstone Management on the back of that cab. Very good looking ride there. And speaking of more good looking rides, but having a little trouble keeping them online in the bus stop once again, Robert Gillard gets sent out to the shadow realm, not able to get off of that dark plane, that troublesome area. They'll have to find a way to get back under control and kind of dial this one back up a little bit. This is not a track you can just keep doing that here. And you can even see just from our track map alone, look at how far he is from the entire field. He's going to have to rely on pit strategy as well as maybe just a little bit of luck, because he's not going to get it from caution flags or any kind of openings there. No stage breaks in between. You either run what you got or you might as well consider yourself out and about. Boy, how many times have we seen this paint scheme on this track and on this kind of surface here? This was the number 1 at Nathan Meyer here, and still, at least he has learned his lesson and knows me all too well. He's still driving that Chevrolet at least on here. For those that don't know, the reoccurring joke with him is that he's had times where he's put that DuPont scheme on a Ford and not the usual Chevrolet, and unfortunately for Triple Trey Can't Play Whitehead, I think he was a little I think he might have been a little colorblind there, because I think he was paying too close attention to Nathan Meyer. He seemed to have forgotten the surface that was in front of him. And the 33 smacks dab hard into the wall protections. The Buffalo Springs machine damaged up badly on the left side. Doesn't seem to have phased him too much. Seems to still want to run it hard here, but that damage is going to really put back and really give him some hard issues to deal with later on now. As for John Thacker here, the attacker of Cone Lives Matter, he's putting it all on the line here tonight, putting up a great run and a great burst of speed up there to the 88 of Garth Snyder, who is right up ahead of him. Richard Fornchell moving the chains up just a slight bit here as the Mirage James Harris kind of falls in from behind, trying to get some kind of runoff on him and as well as the rest of the field. Because that's going to be easier said than done again, because you got a whole list of drivers that are still searching for their first win or their elusive backwater win if you can. These tracks aren't going to get any easier throughout the rest of the season. As a matter of fact, they'll actually test a lot more than just they will. last weekend we were down at Kansas Speedway, and really it was kind of a crazy race to say the least there, because we saw really nobody giving an inch and no one really giving out onto that track, and it would have belonged to Richard Fornshell in the 90 machine that day, pulling off extremely close cut strategy and great cornering, able to put him into that top spot and in a good place overall. He told us earlier today he's looking to do it again if he is at all possible. But he knows the credibility and the troll that's going to be put up on him tonight. He's going to have a lot of work to do here with this kind of track and this kind of field. Matthew Moniak and number 3, we talked to them earlier. Ron did not qualify. He said really he was just trying to survive at this point. And I think he'll be alright with that, because Charles Whitehead still can't seem to evade and stay out of trouble. I don't even know if that really was just an over corner or an overshot of the turn. I mean, some would say maybe they just got intimidated because they saw number 3 behind him. I don't even know for sure anymore. It's hard to guess, and I still kind of have to like turn my head every time I do see that 3 on any of these structured cars, man. It just always like gets me. It's like, what? I've already said my piece on that one, so I'm not going to get too in depth with it, but nevertheless, Sean Bowdy here in the number 34, still trying to gain right back into this. He's in the top 5 at the moment, looking to try and knock down Tyler Meeks in that 35. And again, last time with Sean Bowdy, his use of pit strategy and timing was what saved him from getting kind of knocked out and beat out from the driver's end of the spectrum. So you know more than anything, he will be paying close attention to when people are going into pit road and when they're opting in to strive back in and fight them off there. It makes for some clear-cut, hard corner racing. It makes it very difficult as well if you're not careful here. But for drivers like Randall Fawkes, it's all about just hammering down and just let the truck do the work, and he is doing that and then some. Matter of fact, if you look right now at our pit lap, on our lap time, excuse me, not pit lap. He's actually pretty much kind of seized the moment, kind of defended off Janzik more times than not. You can see that purple indicator of that time. That means he's got the fastest lap so far. An addictive 1:14.746. It may not seem like much, but I'll tell you one thing. That's pretty darn good and pretty darn fast for a track like this in this case. Airing off right now here, lap 6 belonged to Janzik though when it came to ground covered and ground cleared. The 40 Green Mountain Grill machine not able to gain up enough though. He's still got a lot more work to do here tonight. We'll go on board here with him and his just little friendly rivalry, should we say? I don't know if there's friendly rivalry in this, or maybe it's just he wants to have a little too much humor. I just know that usually with this kind of trash talk, eventually I ended up getting the bumper. I ended up getting kind of pushed around a little bit eventually. So, I mean, he can do that all he wants, but when you got a guy like James Harris around, I don't think you want to be playing too much into trash talking. You know, the Texans don't mess around here. Used to say there was somebody that was like, don't mess with Texas. Well, I think I might have to refrain that nickname back to our known Texans around here, which is James Marauder Harris. A little bit of trouble down there here. Unfortunately for Robert Wins Jr. got caught up into the pylon there. Looks like there's trouble down there for Steve Clegg and him as well. Can't quite tell from the angle what happened, but there is one way to know for sure what had happened here. Let's take a look at the PTM Instant Replay. Looks like Clegg may have just overdrove the corner, got pretty hard in there. Remember that bus stop, you have to still kind of ease into the turn a little bit. This isn't exactly easing into the turn. Ends up just driving too hard off. Robert Wins Jr. backing down, has to stretch in as well. Bit of a hard hit and a bit of a tough break there for him and the crew, but does refire the truck up at least and gets back out on the track here. So for now, everything remains somewhat clean, but did have to serve a penalty going through the cone area there. Remember, you can't just go through that straight end of the bus stop. That's not part of the track. You have to run it like normal, or you're going to suffer a pit, or you're going to suffer about a 5-second penalty for that. And believe me, those penalties, they do not take them easy and do not take them lightly. They're hard to get rid of once you got them. John Bounty now in the 34 trying to hold off. Tyler Meeks trying to hold off, Christian Wilcox as Tyler Meeks kind of plays in. Wilcox really has been up in his game and up in his ante as of late here with that Chick-fil-A number 53 machine. It was very interesting to see him in these last couple of days and races really kind of coming out here and put on a bit of a fight, put on a bit of a show. And I feel like he's done more than just that. He's been pretty much laying into it time and time again. Remember, he is a season opener champion so far with the season. He got that back at Daytona International Speedway. Ever since then, he's almost just been lights out on hitting every single turn, every single mark, every single corner, and really making for a great roundabout of racing. Came into tonight kind of wondering if he was going to be able to keep doing that and performing that, then so more than often than not. Well, we feel he certainly has, and then more. The only driver really out of this pack and out of these fields that's kind of disappointed me, and I'm sorry, Man Beast, but I'm calling you out for this, man. You got to understand something. Man Jr. just a couple of seasons ago, actually last season too, he was pretty much the guy you had your eye on, either for all the good reasons or all the crazy reasons. Stray Whitehead, I don't know if he's thinking that truck is actually a drifter kind of truck, or if you can just actually try to drift around the corners. I'll tell you one thing, you don't want to do that here, but man, just at least keep it all on all four wheels. But back to the Man Beast, literally just a couple seasons ago, remember, he was pretty much lights out when it came to his fuel run and fuel strategies, and it got him to the point where he was pretty much in that top half, the upper echelon of possibly coming away with the W, or coming away with the victory. But unfortunately, it seems like now this season he's either hit a real big rough, or he is really just struggling to keep these trucks or cars to just kind of timed in and pitch out. He's had bad luck, he's had good luck, he's been all over the place, he's swung it wide, swung it wrong, he's had speed, and then he just gets crashed out. It never seems to get any easier, and you know, we do hope nothing but the best for the Man Beast, but I mean, I'm just going to say this too, this is not the season that I was expecting of him, or really of his crew. So, still a lot of time left, still a lot of playing field here in this track here though. 25 laps left to go here as the Mullet Man, Robert Lawrence, the Blaster Master, trying to wheel and deal his way back in. And he did say he'd bring me back that Blaster Master ride, so I'm glad he at least listened to the fans out here. The only Mullet fans, number 5. And yes, I know Dusty Barwell's hanging around here somewhere. He probably wanted me to make sure I brought that in. Yes, I remember, Dusty. It's okay, buddy. The only Mullet Man fans truck driver there, and he just so happens to be piloting that number 5 machine. But he's also right now trying to pilot his way up ahead here of Richard Fornshell. The 90 Chevrolet Silverado trying to take down that 5 F-150 Ford F-150 through the corners and through the runs here, but you can see Lawrence has just got so much ground and clearance on Fornshell. He's just really looking for an opening to pass him on. You're going to really find a lot of that on the straightaways. You're going to find a little bit in through some of these corners. But it's easier said than done to hit those spots and hit those runs up. And it looks like for Sheldon Pearson, he got a full whip of it. Here's a look at the replay. Caught up right there with the number 82 of Brock Whitehead, and here's that same error we saw Steve Clegg hit earlier, and unfortunately for Pearson, he did much of the same. Got himself just into a bad spot and a bad angle, and it ended up costing him big time there. What a tough break for him and his crew, and I certainly know he was certainly trying to give himself a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a chance at really making it to a top spot again. He's been in that upper echelon, but has not pulled off a W at all on PTM Racing TV, and I talked to him earlier about that, and he just said, yeah, I know, you keep bringing it up, but I think that's what's cursing me, so I'm going to stop trying to bring it up there, my friend. So, but it's hard to really bring in, because it's just a storyline that plays itself out, so. Tony Westcott coming on board here tonight. Sorry for a little late to get in to watch that. Tony, it's all good, bud. Always love having you on board, buddy. Good to see one of my fellow Midwesterns around here. The attacker calling lives matter. John Thacker still dealing with Garth Snyder up ahead. Remember though, a little earlier on, Snyder was pretty far up ahead of him. Thacker actually got a lot of ground and coverage just on him alone. Here is how this looks right now. And you can see that overall pacing and control, the distance and ground covered certainly makes up the difference and makes up that run. And you're seeing a lot of that and then some here. It makes up for the time lost, time gained, and really at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for as a driver is to just continue to pace your way around the track and get some momentum built up. Steven Tyler Pless right now, and then number 69 Ford F-150 will go on board here with him as he continues to rock some lemonade stands out here. I asked him earlier too if he was going to keep selling these lemonades around here on that lemonade stand, if you maybe could put a little vodka in there too. Because, I mean, hey, come on, I love my lemonade in general, but unless you got a little strawberry mixed in with a little bit of that strawberry Smirnoff, I don't really know what the heck we're doing with this kind of stand here. Ain't that right there, Eli? Westcott saying, thanks, buddy. Hopefully you aren't getting the wind and cold weather like we are. You want to refrain that, Tony? We definitely are getting it here. I'm literally having to bundle up in an extra jacket and a pair of extra pants here. It's cold, man. I do not like it. Because I don't think one driver might not like it. That's Zanny Van Janzik. Seeing what Falks is doing at this moment. Janzik is just usually a lot more calm, cool, collective. He's struggled a little bit tonight, and those lap times are not helping him at all. Matter of fact, he actually just had a pass around the number 3 of Matthew Moniak there. Had a little bit of a tough time getting around him, which you can take a look at the times here, and actually Janzik is really the second fastest of the bunch here throughout these laps. Tyler Meeks can't really gain any ground on him. The downside, though, is Falks has just been absolutely guns blazing through these corners. He just kind of hits each turn as solid as can be, kind of runs them up the same way he needs to, and the only thing that's going to really slow him down is like what you see right now, which is lap traffic, and even that's not even slowing him down. Nice corner off on the carousel and passes the number 54 of Robert Gillard with really no troubles with the ease of grace. Very impressive racing and very incredible stuff here. And as our drivers continue to face this one on down, kind of settle this one back up a bit here, the question remains, who is going to be the one to walk away with the W and with the victory? Well, we'll find that answer out when we return. We'll be right back after this quick commercial message. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at Green Mountain Grills. When you guys need the best wood-fired pellet grills on the market, there is only one branded name that we trust in, and that is with the Green Mountain Grills. Be sure to check them out on their local website at greenmountaingrills.com. Check out their social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And be sure to also check out for their local listings and all as well as their local products they present. Thank you again to Green Mountain Grills for your ever-dying support for the Fast and Fun Truck Series. Multiple seasons with them, multiple seasons working with them as well. I can tell you that they do a lot behind the scenes that really kind of help keep these guys in check and really gives them a voice, gives them a chance to really share their craft, share their race, and that's really what it's always been about, really, is just being able to show what's going down on the track and what's going down time and time again here. And speaking of it's going through the track and going through the motions here. Looks like the 51 Charles White having to back off a little bit here for the leaders, as you saw Lawrence and him leaning down into the bus stop zone. Didn't want to try to mess things up here for the 5, but ended up getting him into trouble zone. We saw earlier where if you go double filing in and have a little bit of a runoff, it can be a bit of a handful. Westcott, yeah, I know. It answers your question quite well, doesn't it? Looks like a little bit of problems down there for Robert Wynn. Not really sure what happened there. We'll take a look at the PTM replay. Looks like something gone wrong here. Oh! Well, there's nothing more than just gone wrong. Take a look at this. Little blink there, but I know the Glitchcraft Gremlins didn't do him in. This is what did him in. Watch out. Oh, my! Gets right into the side there with the 23. Joshua Caudill, and a huge wreck for Robert Wynn Sr., man. Just took a major hit there in that corner. Oh, my. I've only seen that happen one other time in real life where it was even close to that kind of hit, but this is something else. Watch this. Caudill just lost control there, couldn't get out of that, and Wynn just took a smack dab right into the wall protection and could not get that thing to take a set quick enough. What a tough break and a hit for him and that crew. Holy smokes. Man. And again, Robert Wynn is okay. He is talking with the officials down there out of pit road, and he's trying to figure out if Caudill's okay. Caudill might have took a bigger hit than I think we realized. He is out of the race, though. Him and Steve Clegg are calling this one a night. They cannot keep going and pushing forward, unfortunately. That is a darn shame and a tough break here. Stephen Pless now moving ahead of the Mirage. James Harris actually got a nice little pass there around the corners and around the turns. And Tyler Meeks and Christian Wilcox still battling it out here. You want to talk about stepping your game up and stepping up your next level here, obviously, with 18 laps to go. This has certainly proven to be something for these two drivers. Like I said, if I had to give an award for most improved, I'd definitely probably put these two in the upper echelon because the class for them has been pretty high, but Meeks has been bad fast and really dialing these things up a bit. Wilcox, ever since that win at Daytona, like we keep saying, man, it just seems like the confidence boosted up, his mentality got better, and he's just drove in it much better into the circuit and in the runs. He hasn't really found any problems or any issues down there. Randall Fox continued to have the race lead here as he has to put Janzik and Wilcox into pit road. Harris goes into pits as well. Stephen Plus stays out, so we'll have a new top three in motion. For Randall Fox, subbing in tonight here for Kevin Kersher. Unfortunately, Kersher not able to join us here tonight. Kevin, if you're listening on though, bud, we hope you're doing all right. We certainly will wish to see you tomorrow night or sometime next week. Hoping nothing but the best for you there, bud. Lining him down the field here. Look out for Robert Wynn. He actually brings the 16 back out. Give credit credit's due. Even that hard little lick and that hard wreck that he suffered through, the man just will not quit. He's going to give it everything he can and try to put this thing in full gear. Always respect a driver that just does not have any quit, still a lot of drive in them. Always just makes for a great storytelling and moment and boost here on their confidence level. Foreign Shell crossed over there by the Zanny fan Craig Janzik. Janzik getting a great run off there off of the 90 of Foreign Shell. Now looking to try to take down guys up ahead of him. But first he's going to have to get around lap traffic once more with the number 3 of Matthew Moniak. And, you know, for Janzik, whoa, a little bit of a push and shove around here. I know earlier on someone said he'll probably get that bumper eventually or get his receipt, but I don't think he was trying to give another receipt to some of these guys out here. But for Janzik tonight, being on his home turf and his home playing field, this one definitely meant a lot to him to try and win out with the best drivers and try to win on a circuit he has not won on in quite some time. But if he's going to do it, man, he's going to have to try to find a way to knock down that 24 of Falks, because Falks tonight is on a whole nother level. Randall has been pretty much bad fast all day long, has not missed a beat or a stepping stone or corner. And I think you can say the same for 69 Stephen Fless, although he's been more in that top 10 echelon spot here. He seems to be kind of pushing it up through the packs and into the ranks. Having a great showcase right now. Look out for Janzik, though, coming down that straightaway from Randall Falks. Falks knows he's going to have to try to defend him off when he swings it down right. Down and low, trying to go for the crossover. Right behind him, pushing it back in. Trying to push the agenda yet again, but Janzik did not get a good run off of turn 12. And Randall Fox was able to push it away and hold him back. 16 laps remain, excuse me. And also just a heads up, folks, if this is your first time here on PTM Racing TV, first off, thank you so much for tuning on in. We really hope you enjoy the race. And also be sure to hit up our YouTube and subscribe there so you never miss the beat. This race will be there in its entirety. And with a battle like this, you certainly don't want to miss anything like that. Nearly a 3-wide slew entering into turn number 3 and 4. Jansen got a major opening there from Fox. He'll have the right side of the bus stop. He'll force Fox to have to slow down a little bit. Corner off hard, though. They'll run him back down to the turns. And Randall Fox loses in the turn. Off of the bus stop, the 24 losing it in the corner. Has to stop for the pit, for the penalty. Now has to refire and bring it back to life quickly. And the Gale Force 24 got sent to the Shadow Realm. Janzik's line comes in perfectly. Say what you will about the strategy, but Janzik used it to his advantage. And deja vu, just like what happened with him and Bounty last time we were here. It's this time Janzik's shoe is on the other foot, and it's Bounty that was the one that got it. Janzik, though, the roles reversed. Let's take a look at the PTM instant replay. This was a wild maneuver here. But again, you had to do this in that corner in that spot. We're going to take a look at from start to finish. Where did this all start at? Let's take a look. There's our blimp cam right now. This is our little drone cam I'm using here. Let's take a look. Pless here was the leader. Big pass there. Janzik gets around him nicely. Look at Fox. He's loose. He's loose through the corner there. That's a major opening because he saw Janzik got a good run off. Drives it down into the bus stop. Janzik knows he can't let him loose. No contact though. Defends. And Fox tries to run it off quickly to keep Janzik at bay. And unfortunately for Randall Fox, it was not to be. Wow. Wild racing in the moments. Watkins Glen just seems to never disappoint. And surprisingly too, to the record now, folks, with Fox's little bobble and mistake there, actually he is currently in pit road trying to get cleaned up and get himself some fresh gas and some tires for the last half. He's going to have to use pit strategy now at full length and full advantage here. Stephen Pless, Richard Cornshaw going in now. Stephen Pless is actually still out, so he'll keep second place. And right behind all of them, say what you will about him, but that's a Noah 34 Toyota Tundra is pretty much keeping the Tundra Nation alive. He's our only driver right now with that Toyota logo on that front hood, and he has been pretty much packing it in and giving it all she's got. Credit where credit is due. He does not seem to quit, does not seem to want to give out. Let's take a look at our pit stop link here and take a look at how we are phasing in right now. Look at this, about 17 laps was the distance for Janzik. Whereas you saw earlier with Pless, he was going about 21 full lengths. And actually, matter of fact, he's not even gone into pit road yet. He's been staying out the entire time. I don't know if he's going to try and go for a full length here. I don't know if it's possible here with that fuel run. That's pushing it quite a bit. Not saying it's impossible, but I mean, if you got guys like Wilcox that have already been in pit road and you haven't even gone in, you might want to be thinking about that a little bit. Bounty went in about 15, 16-ish. Me, same way. About 19 on his end. And you saw now Fox has gone into pit road, so I think what he's hoping for is, considering that distance and travel of Janzik, he's hoping maybe he'll make a stutter step to give him an opening, kind of make his way around back out. It's going to be easier said than done here. Speaking of being easier said than done here, Wilcox now managing to take over the top 3 spot. Bounty gave him an opening and took it and let him have it. Meek sneaking his way on the right side. Now it's a battle between him and Bounty. Hard off the trail here. They run them off down the corners. Down to the course, crossover there. Look at that crossover by the 35. Usually that would be a bad stepping stone to hit it off of, but a beautiful turn and still kept the truck at bay and online. That is impressive. Man, Meeks in that Camping World Silverado, he just seems to just keep impressing each week. Same thing with Sean Bounty, although we knew a Bounty with road course wise, we knew he was going to be a tough hombre to beat. He does not give an inch on these kind of tracks, and does not give an inch to anyone out here. Although I'm going to say this again, and I think I've said it once, I'll say it again. Meeks, why do you have quick lane forward on your suit, but you're driving a Silverado, brother. That's not a conflict of interest if I ever saw one. Thank you very much. Oh my. Greg Jansen got himself a pretty solid lead. Remember I told you earlier he was the second fastest out here from just looking at time and distance gained. Well, he's proving it again. And Stephen Plesser actually now, I think he might have won a hit at pit road a little sooner because he made a big bobbling mistake here off of the first turn of corner 1. Trouble down there for the number 69 to the PTM replay. We take a look at this one. Looks like he might have got himself into a bad place here. Whoa, Russ Kilgore, holy smokes. I'm not sure if the brakes locked up on the 2, but that thing was diving in quick, and that thing was driving hard off. It got the 69, unfortunately, badly there. We'll take another look at it and see what transpired here. We'll take a listen carefully on those tires and that brake line. I don't know. You guys be the call. He definitely drove that thing in one way or another, but I don't think Stephen Pless was expecting that at all. Man, tough break there for him and his crew, obviously. I know Pless was really getting a good run out of this one tonight, but Watkins Glen kind of taming another one down and really making all drivers stay on alert and on track, or you must pay the consequences. For the 82, Brock Whitehead here tonight. Old Brockhead's been pretty much doing his usual thing, which is stay in that top 10. Just grab points, team points, and individual points. Not worry about the rest. Playing away, swaying through the field right now. Every driver just kind of finding their last moments, their biggest races here, and they're just doing what they can to kind of keep putting laps down on the track. Been a bit of a wild run and a bit of a wild race here for some of these guys. Obviously, no one wanting to give an inch and no one wanting to give out. But sometimes there's just not much you can do, especially on these road course kind of style tracks here. They really can test your patience and really push you to your absolute limits. As we saw earlier with Falks and Craig Janzik. I mean, I will defend Janzik by saying, you know, you have to do what you got to do in those corners. I mean, there was no contact made for Falks, though. I will defend him on certainly driving as hard as he can to try to stay alert and stay in position. But it just really boils down to one thing, unfortunately, which is there was just no way to get around that ever-elusive problem, which would have always been that turn. You drive it in so deep and so hard, there's nothing you can really do about it. And I think Falks is very aware of that, so it's a darn shame to see him really have to be put in that spot and in that area. But you know, you have to do what you got to do as a driver, and I know I would have probably done the same thing if I absolutely had to. I believe I actually have done that here on the Watkins Glen, actually, back in the NASCAR Heat 4 days. Sheldon Pearson, man, I don't know how the heck this guy can just hang in here, but this dude was really back in the half of the pack and from that little spin around he had, and now he's back up in the top 10 looking to knock down the man being Sway Man Jr. And I think the man's maintenance number 29 is a very well aware and alert of what's behind him. The man being trying to hold down the number 8 right behind him. But Pearson is just moving the chains and gripping this track with the best of intentions. You heard the driver say earlier on, this track is slick, it is tough to beat, and it really brings out a number in you. And that's exactly what we've been seeing and what they've been doing here. Flying down the corner. Whoa! The man beast! No! And once again, another corner here catches a one-off driver off cuff and off the turn. And unfortunately for the Old Camp Whiskey Chevrolet Silverado, the man beast, William Mann Jr. ends up finding himself on the receiving end of turn 1. Tough right there for him, and a real bad, unfortunate circumstance for him. He just can't catch any more luck or any more breaks. Just finds himself on the wrong end. Man, that is a real hard, little stubborn spot there. Turn 1 and that bus stop to me are always the two worst turns to have to try to run off of or try to get a pass done off of, because they just will mess you up in so many ways if you're not careful. And the bus stop, really, just because of how tight that corner is and how hard it is to pass there, there's not a lot of areas to do it. And Nathan Meyer getting a good idea of that. He just went into the grassy plains, has to slow down, service penalty there. And the stewards will say, all right, you can go back to running it hard now. Christian Wilcox, oh boy, he's really getting aggressive in those corners now. He's got a little too hard into the turn, got into the grassy plains, opened up his own lawn care service with the left side tires. Although I think they load the lawn this morning there, my friend. 7 laps remain here on PTM Racing TV here at Watkins Glen here tonight. And a big shout out and thank you to every single one of you that tuned on in with us. We love and appreciate your support. And I did say on Twitter as well, we have mentioned before that we will have some new stuff coming up as well with our marketing end as well as our look spectrum. So hopefully in due time we can kind of get some more unique and creative stuff here on PTM Racing TV. 2022 cannot come quick enough, and believe me when I say we are working very, very, very hard on making the biggest and the baddest stuff around that you will not see anywhere else and nowhere else on our show. When all is said and done, we certainly hope you will enjoy it. But all that, of course, is in very, very much due time. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we might bring back a few things. We're still working on some stuff here. I'll say that much. Meyer here had a little bit more problems down there for him in his corner. He gets another little trip in the bus stop exit. Problems down there for the number 1, and I really don't think tonight's going to be too much of a burden for him. Of course, he's had a great season so far, so one bad race doesn't make an entire season, as we're very well aware. Let's take a look at this, though. Yep, this time it's the exit again of the bus stop. And you saw, folks, earlier he went too hard, went sliding to the left. This time Meyer slides into the right. Thankfully, though, kept it on pace and off and out of the trouble zone. And apologies for that technical difficulty screen as well, folks. Just trying to get that refresh rate back up and running. Top 5 for the 5 spots up, and also your second close hard charge of the night. The Muller man, Robert Lawrence. The other one that's tied with him, Triple Trey Kid Play Whitehead in the 33. But the ultimate of all the hard charges, and well, maybe also one of the ultimate hard runners, I would say, is the 2 of Russell Fullboard Kilgore. Earlier on, he got kind of got a little too hard into that turn down in turn 1. Got closed up there with Stephen Pless. Don't believe anything too major had happened there between the two. I think they'll be okay, but if there is a rivalry brewing, we'll know it. Damaged up on that front end of the 5 of Robert Lawrence, and I don't even know how the heck he's still running that thing, much less even staying in the top 5. But hey, as we said it before, we'll say it again. If it's running and it still works, who cares? 5 to go now for the Zanny fan, Craig Zanzik in the number 40. And like I said earlier, this race was all about redemption for the Green Mountain Grill crew, and really for him and his team. Last time he was here, he got dethroned as really the Watkins Glen guy of the year and the race and the driver that always put on a fight here. He had got himself into a bit of a troublesome shootout, and a little bit of a heartache and troublesome area with Sean Bounty. That bus stop costing him dearly. But Sean Bounty later that day would be able to just knock down the rest of the veterans and go into victory lane. But tonight, rocking a whole different kind of series and truck. He has now been pretty much locked on and locked dead set on hanging in there with these guys again. And let's think about this for a second. He won in Next Gen. He's in top. He's currently running in 4th in a Truck Series truck. You can't say that he did not test the waters and figure things out tonight. Tony Westcott saying, I get to watch racing all year long. I'm happier than a fat kid with a cake. Now that's just poking fun of me there, my friend. Although I'm not too fat, to be honest. I'm not too big, to be honest with you. I just always say I am, so. Well, my brother would probably tell you otherwise and probably be like, no, he ain't got nothing compared to me, so. Sean, if you're still listening, bud, hope you're doing alright. Triple Trey came to play Whitehead backing down here as Randall Fox will move back up the chains here into 12th spot. Give credit due to Fox, man. He fought hard to move up the chains and move back into this. Could have possibly still a top 10 finish if he can find a way around Sean the Diamond and Sheldon Pearson. And we've seen crazier things happen here. So you can't say that it's impossible. Oh my goodness. Please don't tell me this is who I think it is.
I ain't racing nobody, so I figured I'd just come talk to you.
You keep talking to me when there's only like 5 laps to go. Are you mad?
I'll probably curse myself.
Yeah, you usually do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't pretty obvious enough, I'll just let you know who's on the screen here with this little photo of him.
Gotta love my mullet in that picture.
Yes.
All natural, too.
Yes, all
wig.
natural. You're saying the mullet man has a fake wig.
Yeah, the mullet man has one, but my mullet's real. So how's the race been up there?
Well, been pretty good. It was doing all right. It was kind of clean and somewhat under control until once again you showed up into the pack. But nevertheless, here, I mean, you still at least are bringing your little Texas style in, a little Texas-based kind of mayhem with you. And still, everything's all bigger in Texas than you are, right?
Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas, and this is just like a commute to work. I'm usually faster though driving to work than this. I did wave at Craig when he drove by and lapped me. It's the only time I saw him.
Yeah, I mean, was that really the only time you ever see him though? Is when he's just flying by you?
Yeah, usually, or yeah, for the most time.
Yeah, maybe at the end of the
It's
day.
more about the experience for me, you know, just the joyride, the Sunday cruise.
I mean, I think iRacing does a pretty good job of making it feel like that to begin with, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, your number one
I don't
fan,
know, man,
Sparky's joined us saying Thacker, yes, so at least you know you got one fan that at least likes to listen when you come into the comments.
Who's that?
That's the old Sparky, Dustin Sonaker.
Oh, yes. Hello, Sparky. I'll put on a better show tomorrow. Promise.
I hope you do.
What?
He's gonna be watching and calling it with me, so I'll make sure I remind him that you were saying you promised him you'd give him a better show.
All right. Well, if you want to throw me back in my hole and cover somebody competitive, you can do that. Feel free. I won't be offended.
But really, I don't even know what else to say to that. Just we'll let you back in your mid-pack racing career, brother.
Hey, throw me in there with Trey Whitehead.
All right, I'll throw you in there.
Appreciate it.
Yep, thanks, Thacker. Well, our great friend Thacker couldn't help himself. He went 2 laps remaining. He had to come by and have a little fun with us here at PTM Racing TV. I know we're trying to keep these professional, but sometimes I cannot help it. He makes me laugh too much. Well, I think there's no laughing matter though tonight for the Zany fan Craig Jandik. This was all in vain to what he wanted to do, and tonight he not only perfected it and set himself up for this, but he's got the white flag now out for him and this crew in the number 40 Green Mountain Grill machine. White flag is out. 1 lap remains. Close cornering, tight cornering, call it what you will. The one thing we can say for sure is that he was bound in town and ready to ground it. He'll be our last winner at Watkins Glen unless some real major crazy thing happens before then. We're going to see a new look and a new style here at WGI very, very soon. iRacing has got it in the works, and if you've been following their media platform, it certainly looks very more up-to-date, realistic than ever. Cannot wait to see that and then some. But for tonight, Craig, the Zany Fam Janzik, can walk away here knowing he settled a score in his mind and on the track that he felt like he is owed. He may still have some receipts he's been wanting to get covered, or he has to get cleared out later. But for tonight, anyway, the number 40 Chevrolet Silverado Green Mountain Grills is going to take this one to victory lane at Watkins Glen. Hometown boy, we'll see checkered flags down to the stripe. And he's going to do the only thing he knows how to right out of the gate. Just celebrate and have a little fun. And James Harris, I hope you're watching this too, man, later on. Because remember, he still got your face on there. So he's pulling burnouts, and he's got what he's got down below. I really don't even know what else I could say there. That's probably the most zany fan move I've seen Jantic do all day. That's all I'm going to say. Well, our drivers are now clearing up the place and clearing down on the track, so let's have a listen in here. It's time to bring in our field of drivers in our top 3 here. We'll see our results in just a minute, but first, let's talk with the top 3 results here now as Mr. Christian Wilcox walks away here with 3rd. Wilcox, congratulations on this here in your Chick-fil-A number 53. What a wild ride it was from start to finish, sir.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid drive. I think I left a little bit out there. A little bit frustrated because had some run-ins with some lap cars that kind of were racing me a little too hard when obviously I'm in a position for, second place, but all good. On to the next race, and I'm, well up in the points, doing pretty well, so I'm okay.
You certainly are doing pretty good and pretty much kind of locked and loaded with this one. So I have to ask you, as you're getting ready for the big battles in the racing coming up, what's going to be your next big priority and target to stay in contact with?
Say that one more time, Christian. Sorry, people are talking.
I was gonna say, like with the next races coming up here, what's gonna be your big game plan, your strategy to kind of play out as we progress through these races?
Just top 5s and top 10s. Honestly, if I can just stay consistent in the top 10, I feel like my probabilities of a top 5 this season will be pretty good.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, a lot of hard racing to be had, a lot of great stuff to come through and come forth with. So, as you're walking away here tonight with another solid finish and a 3rd place finish here, who do you want to thank you tonight, Watkins Glen?
I'd like to thank Chick-fil-A, Century Complete, Terramana Tequila, and of course Green Mountain Grills for putting this on. It was a blast. Thanks for watching, guys.
It was a blast to have you on board here, Wilcox. Congratulations, sir, and we'll see you next time out on the show.
Appreciate it.
Southern Speed Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, number 53, Christian Wilcox. Let's take it down now and talk to the 2nd place finisher here tonight in Tyler Meeks, the number 35 driver, piloting the Camping World machine into another solid performance and a solid showcase for him and his crew in the Oval Sim performance. Tyler, congratulations here. What a race it was, a long formatted battle here for 35 laps to the distance. You stayed in that top 5 all day long, and a big opening there got you into 2nd place there when you got around Bounty. What was it like to get around this track?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, some people were complaining about the setup, but I didn't find a really huge issue with it. Obviously, a little bit of the brake bias change and steering ratio, but besides that, I think it was pretty good. A little loose in 2nd gear coming off the corners, but overall, I think it drove pretty good for tonight.
It certainly seemed like it did indeed, and obviously had a lot of big runs and a lot of big moments here, obviously for you and your team. But I really have to ask you though, when you're kind of coming down to a track like this, knowing this is going to be one of the last times you really run on this kind of surface before the update, does it kind of make you as a driver just want to kind of push it a little harder, or just kind of get a little bit more aggressive, or do you just try to stay under control and stay under the pressure zone?
No, I try to stay under control. Slower is faster, especially at like a road course. You don't want to go in heavy on a corner and then just completely miss it. So I probably over brake on some corners, but truck sticks, so we keep it going. But as long as I can keep my foot out of it on the exits, we'll get a pretty good launch off the corners.
You certainly did indeed, and it was a long, hard fought for you and your crew, but a 2nd place finish nevertheless. Certainly wielding some more results and some points needed. Who do you want to thank you for that?
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank Green Mountain Grills for putting this on, Champion, Blaster Products, Oval Sim Performance, There's a reason Craig is the team owner, as you can see, because he was on rails tonight. I had nothing for him. Nobody had nothing for him. So, besides that, I mean, Camping World Trucks for coming on, or Camping World Series for coming on board, and I think that'll be it.
For sure there. All right. Well, Meeks, congratulations on a second place finish here tonight. It's great to see you back in the podium, and certainly hope to see you back here once more in due time.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
For Mobile Sim Performance, ladies and gentlemen, the number 35 driver in Tyler Meeks. And now, sweet, sweet revenge and a little redemption for the Zany fam here tonight. Craig Janzik joins us here on PTM Racing TV. Congratulations on a solid win and a victory. Well worth the time and effort. And what a battle it was to the very end. But really, I think there's one thing we got to ask before we get this interview started, and that was what was going through your mind when you and Fox went head-to-head into the bus stop.
I didn't think that was going to be the outcome. I can't say that, there was obviously no malintent from either of us there. I mean, we're both really aggressive drivers going for the same space. And those were his words, honestly. Right after the incident, that was what the conclusion was. And he just put too many tires on the grass. One would be too many, and he ended up putting two, and that, whether it's cold tires or hot, is going to yield that result. So I hate that that's what ended the battle, because I know it was going to be a really good one. I intentionally went for the undercut. I pit 2 laps prior to halfway on purpose, because I knew I had to try to get in front of him, make up the time somehow, because if I didn't, if I just settled the pit when he was going to pit, there was going to be no gain. So we went for the undercut, and it worked to an extent. I did, come out in traffic, so I actually even got held up a little worse than I did, and we still made up about 1.8 seconds on him just by doing the undercut. So that really won the race, honestly. If I just chose to be content with P2, I would have ended up P2. And that's what shows why you never give up. You always got to try something.
Certainly do indeed, and obviously you tried everything and then some to win this one out for a solid performance and a major, major victory for you and your team, and a little sweet redemption from last season. So I have to ask you, who do you want to thank you for that?
Yeah, so thankful for Green Mountain Grills. Not only did they come on the truck for me here at the Glen, so I'm so appreciative of that, and as well as their undying league support for our truck series. It makes me very happy to represent the best Pellet Girls money can buy, and that's what we represent for them here. We put on a great race for them, and I hope they enjoy it just as much. And thanks to Champion Power Equipment as well, and Blaster Products, the Free Beer and Hot Wings Morning Show. Listen to them. freebeerandhotwings.com, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. And thanks to you guys at PTM for an amazing show, and thanks to Randall as well. I mean, because he could have been mad that I was trying to make that move with 15 to go, but he was overall pretty okay with it, and that's that says a lot about him as a competitor.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Janzik, appreciate coming on board here tonight. Congratulations on another solid victory and a little redemption, as we mentioned here, for Watkins Glen, the last victory here on the old surface.
Hey, that feels pretty good. I'm going to take that one with me. I might put that in the iRacing bio.
Fair enough. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, buddy. We'll talk tomorrow night in Atlanta.
We will. Atlanta Motor Speedway is coming up, throwback week as well for that season, and on Fast and Fun Champion Power Equipment Series. But thank you to Green Mountain Girls Fast and Fun Truck Series for your support and the run here tonight. Great showing by the drivers and a great race all around. It was a lot of fun to watch, and it was a lot of fun to see. As you heard, we're heading down for Champion Power Equipment Fast and Fun Cup Series tomorrow night. Race fans, stay tuned with us. Keep it real and keep it on show. PTM Racing TV will be back live tomorrow night. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here on your Monday night. We appreciate you, and we will see you very, very soon.